Okay, just a moment. Yes. Hi, everyone. A very good evening to all the students present here and teachers and counselors, if present today with us. Welcoming all of you to another weekly career class, which we do for all our students. And today we are on a very, very important topic. Specifically for class 12 students, now the board exam results are out, and a lot of you may be wondering what to do. So don't worry, we are here to help you. And specifically today, we have Ms. Parmita Sarma, who is a career counselor and an overseas career counselor for more than a decade. She has an experience of total almost 15 years. She has been doing career counseling for a very, very long time. And today she's here to help you out to understand, what career options are relevant for you, what you can do after your class 12th results are now out, and how do you plan your career ahead. So Parmita, thank you so much as always for joining us. Just a note to you that our YouTube viewers will be sending across a lot of questions today, I'm assuming. So I'll be putting them over to you on the chat box, requesting all YouTube users to make sure they put up your questions in the chat box, and we will take them up and put them across to our speaker. So Parmita, thank you, and over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Garima. It's always a pleasure to interact with the young people here, right? So I see Vayon and Anvesha joining me through Zoom, and I am sure there are students in YouTube live with us. Most of you might be our, student who are associated with, our counseling. Recently you got your results, so congratulations to all of you. Ultimately, the wait, the patience, everything is over, and now you have your grade card in front of you. Some of you might be a little disappointed, and some of you, I am sure you're enjoying, because I recently got to know from my cousin called me, Didi, I got 99.6%. I said, oh wow, how did you manage to do that? He said, I don't know, but I was very good in my class, and I used to participate even during the offline classes, online classes. I was very active. So yes, that's how you got. Some of you might be a little disappointed that you might have thought, you could have done better. But yes, maybe things didn't work accordingly. Nothing to worry. So you have our counselors with you. We have a lot of plans that are there. You can look for, even if you have missed on something. There is always always a phase where you can start. All right. You plan something which is which may be a plan B for you right now. So if in case plan A doesn't work, you definitely have a plan B or a plan C, right? So yes, congratulations on your grade cards arriving. Your results are there, so you have a clearer picture as to how your academics might have treated you, over the last 2 years. Yeah, hello Jay. Thanks for coming to this Zoom session. All right. So today we are going to discuss a little bit about different options. So you all are 12 students, so you might have taken science, you might have been from commerce, with maths, without maths. You might be the students who have taken humanities with or without maths as well, right? So let us look at the options that might be available to you. Students is sure that if they subject or stream after their 10th based on their 10th results, right? So if you're really very good, or you really, you want to do something investigative and something into research, you definitely would like to go into sciences. There are few students who are, they are entrepreneurial and they would really like to, do something very vibrant. So they go basically for commerce, and with commerce, if you're wonderful with maths, that's how you choose your stream. Few would definitely like to go for the softer, cooler subjects of humanities and arts, right? If you were not very sure what you had to do in your, after your 10th, this is the time you can realize, after you're done with your 12th, it is a good time to think, can I diversify into some other field? Or is it science only that I want to go for? There are a lot of options available where you can, diversify into a new field. It's not too late. It's not really too late to, go into a field where, you are passionate about doing something, maybe design, art, music, anything. So, there is never a time which is, which we can consider it's too late. right? So do keep your perspectives open. With that, I'll just come to our presentation that we have made for today for you children. We'll go into sciences and few options in humanities and commerce, and then maybe in between I'll go for questions and see what are questions that you have. Please feel free to reach out to me either through the chat option, or you can maybe the ones the students who are with me in the Zoom link. I would love if you can unmute yourself, and if you have a question, you can go. You can just ask your question, right? So I'm sure all of you have been through our, some of you have at least been through few of the sessions with us, and you might have been interacting with your counselors. We know why we choose a particular career, isn't it? So whether we are looking for a career options where we have identified a problem and there is a solution through certain options, through certain work areas, right? So we basically look for those things. There can be another solution, so today we are in 2020, post 2020, where the pandemic has hit us, and a lot of things have changed the way the way we act, the way we do, the way we communicate has changed completely. Recently I was talking to my daughter, and she said, Mom, it's such a change just within 2 years, where we used to go to school. Now we used to shout, we used to howl, we used to laugh, roam around in the corridor, and it used to be so noisy. Yeah. And our teachers used to tell us, come on children, discipline, okay, shh, don't talk, you need to maintain it. Now the teachers have a different problem altogether. So since everything is on an online mode, I hear teachers saying, please make some noise children, please unmute yourself, please show your face. All right. So and that's what you can there has been a change. So before we used to talk about etiquettes, this is how you sit in the classroom, this is how you talk, all right, this is how you behave with your teachers. Today we talk of netiquette, okay, so how do you speak to people when you're on an online mode, right? So things are changing, concepts are changing. And you as our future leaders, people who would be working in, around 7 to 8 years down the line, it is important for you to understand, if I am choosing a particular career option, why I am choosing that, or is there a way where I can skill myself into different areas, right? So when we look at the areas where we can work, there are few areas which will never lose its charm, or it will never come down in its demand. One would be the problem of solving the food problem, solving the issue of hunger, okay, of nutrition, of we need to have those supplies regularly, right? So even if we are during COVID, non-COVID, we need to eat, we need to have nutritious food. Right? So if that is the area that you look for, there are a lot of options where you can go for, either being a chef or an agriculturist. You can be into food and nutrition. You can also be into, the government related work, where you can work in FCI, right? You can be into biotechnology. So there are huge areas where you can work when you see certain problems that exist in the society and will continue to be there in the society for a long time to come, right? There would be areas in pollution, okay? There can be areas where you are looking into the environment, we are looking into, a pure environment. We are looking into something like sustainability. There would be a time where petrol reserves would get exhausted. So are we ready with alternate fuel? So you might have learned about something called biofuels. There are certain cars coming up in the market called hybrids, okay? So it actually runs on water. So, oh my God, switch. Can a car run in water? Yeah, they do. There are researches going on where, you can change, and you're working not only on the engineering part of it, you're also looking into the environmental policies, into the impact that they are making in the environment. And a whole lot of law and the order has to be changed or has to be amended to come and fit to such changes that we have. So today I was just talking with one of my friends, and he said, do you know, even for taxations now, since I'm working from home, I can pay my electricity I can get an exemption from tax, because I am working, and that's what I am spending. So normally your electricity bill is something which is not tax exemptable. But yes, there are policies. People are changing policies according to the work we are doing. So for the past 2 years, we have been working from home, right? So I'm using my laptop, I'm using my current, I'm using my Wi-Fi, and I'm working. So right, and I get a salary, and if I'm getting a salary and I'm paying taxes, right? So is it the same when I am working in office where I have a 24/7 AC environment with people offering me tea, coffee, or is it the same when I am working from home, right? So yeah, so there are a lot of changes that is happening in the society, and we can expect a lot of change that can happen. So yes, a little futuristic view of what things can be, and if you're really passionate to do something out of the way, and to make you more, future fit, then there are a lot of options that you can look accordingly, right? So law and order, pollution, these are always there with us. When we come to the streams, when we come to the three major streams that we go for are sciences, commerce, and humanities. When we talk of science, we generally think, these are those students who are good with science, and they want to be doctors, they want to be engineers, or they may be those students who really don't see themselves very well fit for commerce, and social studies are something that they really don't like to study and mug up and do things, right? So they are more of investigative in nature, they are more realistic in their nature, they are more experimental. So those students generally end up choosing science. But yes, if you have already taken science in your 11th and 12th, don't worry, there are other lot of options remaining where you can diversify from science as well. Now, just today morning, I happened to counsel a student, and she said, "Ma'am, I was aspiring for NEET. I couldn't get it, but I went for biotechnology. Now I am very sure I really want to do anything in technology, but I want to do something to management. I want to do something in relation, in project management, or doing something little different." So even those are, those options are available. Today there has been a lot of increase in something called as PSM. You can just make a note maybe. So these are called professional science masters. So students from the science field, you can either do your sciences from your, in school till your 12th, or you might choose sciences till your graduation, and then do something which is in the professional way. So normally, if after a BSc, if you're doing an engineering, it's of course a professional degree, right? If you're doing a medicine, it's of course a professional degree. But if you're doing something like BSc physics or BSc chemistry, BSc maths, BSc sciences in terms of biology, zoology, botany, there are a lot of options that will open up for you in terms of professional degrees. These are called as professional science masters, very popular in the US. And yes, there are, it's coming to India as well. There are a lot of new universities coming up. Even our traditional state government universities and, central universities are bringing up new courses to adapt to these changes that came across, okay, and with the prediction that what kind of opportunities will be available in another 5 to 10 years, so that our children, our students are ready to face that. All right. So normally when we speak of science in the conventional way, we see that sciences are basically through the cluster of engineering. So you have a lot of clusters, not just the stereotypic mechanical, civil, or all of that. There are new clusters coming up. You have something like AI, robotics, machine learning. There are a few universities in India where you have subjects like bioelectronics. So recently I got across this university in Bangalore where they have come up with a BTech program in bioelectronics, right? In Singapore, we have universities which they call, this a mixture of biology and physics. Two subjects are, two different areas, but you do have engineering options there, something like mechanobiology, bionics, So these classes are available. You may choose to do in graduation, or if you have done a normal graduation engineering program, you can choose to do a specialization or diversify when you do your masters, or maybe sometimes PhD if you're so willing to study and do more of research. Other combinations that are available with physics, chemistry, and maths would be into the area of architecture, would be into the area of research itself, so aeronautics, aeronautical engineering. A lot of students do a lot of research there. Environmental engineering, environmental sciences, waste management technology, green technology, sustainable management. All of this would require a student who has PCM in 11th and 12th, and you can go ahead with your specialization during graduation, or then maybe, when you come to your master's, you can do some, maybe you may not go for a 2-year master, you may just like to go for a 1-year master's, and then start working. A huge cluster is available with the information technology itself. So with IT as a cluster, you can diversify to management, you can diversify even towards humanities, you can diversify, you can stay with sciences if you want. So IT is again a wonderful mix, where you can look for work opportunities anywhere. So you have something like digital humanities that are coming. So yes, digital humanities, IT humanities. Yeah, fine. Now, agricultural technology, we just saw in the previous slide. This is something which will be, requiring a lot of focus, and the, demand for agriculture, food sciences will never go down. With more and more people turning to vegan, looking for organic products, you might look to do something in, agriculture technology. Also, it's sometimes called agriculture engineering. A lot of times, it also involves in, designing machines and equipments for harvesting, for sowing seeds. You might have seen few videos in, either your Instagram or Facebook, or there's something called, the next generation science. Where you can in fact remove an entire growing tree from one place, and you can shift it to a different area. There are different technologies how you can plant seeds, harvest them. So if you're interested in this area of agricultural technology, agricultural engineering with a PCM, your doors are open for that. There are a lot of specialization course. To name a few, you can look into nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is a specialization. You can go for any field. So in physics, you have nanophysics. If you're looking into chemistry, there are a lot of nanotechnology involved with chemistry. Maths, however, remains to be the base of all of this subject. If you're good with math, if you have that reasoning, and if you have the aptitude towards math, this fields can be amazing for you. Right? The other cluster that sciences have is more focused towards biology, right? If you are that student who loves biology and you would like to explore more in this area, huge options, not only just in the medical field or allied medical field, agriculture here as well. Okay, you can do a lot into research, developing vaccines, we have just seen, right? Not only developing vaccines, there are other types of research going on. So for the bio student, this is just a supplementary information I'm giving you. If you are very artistic, all right. So very soon we would have something like virtual labs. Universities in the US, or some big universities have converted their lab into a virtual lab. So is virtual lab is just watching a YouTube video and doing things? Maybe not. You can do something more with a virtual lab, right? You might have seen, this clippings or videos where you can just pin your screen, and the image pops up and you see the 3D image. For the ones who loves biology, and the cell structure, at the same time, you're wonderful with your artistic ability. Right? So there are a lot of new options that are there in terms of molecular modeling, computer-aided drug delivery, computer-aided drug design. So those options can also be available with you. So even if you haven't, prepared for the meet that is coming in a couple of days or weeks, all right? So I think today is the last day to fill up the form. All right, so if medical doesn't happen and yet you are that someone who would like to do a lot of research in medical field, you know, it's still open. A lot of things would be done virtually, so we may not have a lot of cadaver to experiment on. So all of those would be there in the system, and you're actually, operating with those virtual reality VR. These things would come up even in medical field. So if you're looking futuristically, might as well pick up that one course, which will help you do some computer aided design. All right. So yes, for medical options, if you're looking, this is always which will have a lot of demand in the society. We need good doctors, and if you have that great, and you have really prepared well for your NEET, and you're expecting to score really good, right? So yes, please go ahead with your medical studies. If you're interested in to do something with dentistry, a lot of research happening here as well. Dentistry has a role even in forensic sciences. So with the way your dentures are, people even make out what kind of leaving you had. What was your childhood? All right, yeah, it's strange, but yes, looking at the way your teeth are formed, right? The dentist can make out what kind of environment you lived in and what was your personality as such. And nursing, again, wonderful if you have that social aptitude, if you have that something to give out to the society. Biotechnology, I am a professor of the subject. I love the subject. All right, so again, multidisciplinary with a BTech or a BSc MSc integrated program in biotechnology. You can look for a lot of things in the paramedical field, in the biotechnology area, into industry. Those options are open. Food industry, again, quite a huge sector. So recently, one of my friends have been to a platform like this, and he was saying that he works for Yum Foods, the company which manufactures, no, not manufactures, rather you have this KFC outlets and all. So they are doing research on a plant product which would actually taste and see, you will see it looks like chicken and it tastes like chicken, but it is a plant product. So we do have something like choya chop and all which came up, but when it comes to food processing, taste enhancement, keeping the nutritional value intact, this is going to go to altogether a different level with more space research happening, with a lot of people going to the space, so there would be a requirement for, engineering food, all right, how you can engineer food or grow food in a limited area, keeping the nutritional qualities intact, and also into food packaging, right? So yes, if you have that, you're passionate about that, go for it. The other area, you want to serve the people, serve people, you want to be like a doctor, but yes, MBBS didn't happen, but you still want to do something with it. Physiotherapy can be a wonderful, area to work with. You would require to work with instruments, with people. So yeah, you get your doctor degree after 4.5 years. So yes, BPT and MPT can be a good option. There are different centers, there are physiotherapy hospitals, there are rehabilitation centers. So yes, with a lot of online things happening, I remember I had a bad cervical pain and I had to go to a physiotherapist, to get a therapy, a traction or something done. A normal doctor's visit may be 600 to 800, but when I went to my physiotherapist, I had to pay him 1,700 bucks, right? So yeah, if it is the money comes in, don't worry. If you are a good physiotherapist, you would be earning well. So we have a lot of fitness instructor, into nutrition and dietitian. If you have this passion to go for these areas, much related to the medical field, you can get your placements in hospitals, healthcare center, or you can do something on your own as well. So these are good areas. If this is something what you're not really passionate and still want to do something in the field of biotechnology or biology or agriculture, we have a huge list of BSc programs, integrated BSMS programs available. You can just look at this, maybe take a screenshot. And many of you have already been through the IDC portal, right? So we have details of each of these career options available in the portal. maybe in terms of college search, in terms of looking for entrance exam that you need to prepare, so you can go in a little deeper and find out more about the options that are available. Or you may talk to your counselor and let them know that, yes, ma'am, I'm interested in this, or yes, sir, this is what I would really like to do. What would be my next step forward? All right. So I'm sure all of our counselors would be ready to help you with it. Right. So there are a few exams, very reputed exams, if you are from the science field and you want to do something in the field of research. These are, not only a way to enter a premier institute. Once you clear this, you also get some kind of monetary benefit in the form of stipend. All right, so some of them are available directly from the graduation level. Some of them might be available to you when you are in your master's level. But if science is something that intrigues you and research is something that you are looking for and you dream of becoming that scientist, and working for that organization, there are certain list of entrance exams in front of you. You may take a shot and clear those exams. So NEST and NIPER, these are all available. KVPY, if you have missed the one that is in 11th, that's gone. If 12th you still have missed it, KVPY has three types of exams, and you can take two out of those. SX, SA, and SB. So SB is something that you can take while you are doing your graduation. So you really wanted to do your research, but you couldn't make it into, an institute, or you did not choose anything as a backup. All our state universities are open. Central universities are open for admission. You can go for a normal BSc program, either in your pure sciences, physics, chemistry, maths, or biology, in which would be botany, chemistry, zoology, and then still apply for this KVPY exam. You still have one chance to go. All right. I am sure all the students who have joined in either through Zoom or who are watching me live on YouTube, I believe you have all subscribed for the notification alert that is there in our dashboard, in the iDream Career dashboard. So for the science aspirant, let me tell you, ISAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the AIEEA exam, which is for agricultural courses, has opened up. Please make a note of the date. 20th is the last day to apply. So we are on 7th today. So please go check out the notification. Get a note of that. Note of the email address where you have to write, or the website where you have to visit to fill up your form. So do not delay. Go ahead with it. For those students who are looking for horticulture and forestry, Uttarakhand University of Horticulture and Forestry have just opened up their application notification. So anyone would like to be in the area of Uttarakhand, please go and visit. Punjab University has opened up its CET notification. Most of the deadlines are either on the 20th or 31st of August. 20th is not very far off. So we do have another a brush up on the 20th. But for all those students, for your benefit, do not wait till the 20th. Do not wait till the last day to complete your application form. Please go ahead and do it. So yes, again, for engineering, I would say your Indian Maritime for engineering is open. There is another institute in Vadodara, make a note of it, National Rail and Transportation Institute. They have BSc programs, BTech programs, and BBA programs available, and the last date to apply is 21st of this month. So please do not delay that. So for any other science-related, admissions, your Maharashtra University is open, Delhi University is open, Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University is open, guys. So please go ahead, look at the website. There are lots of new courses that are available. Take a look at that. And for all those women out there, if you're looking for some skill-based program, please visit the non-collegiate women's education, website. website, that is NCWEB. The last date to apply is 31st of this month. So please don't miss out on this universities. They have few very good programs, very good course curriculum designed for you. So please go ahead and visit the website. The notifications have already been there in the iDream Career dashboard. If you haven't received those notification alert right as of now, please reach to your counselor or anyone from iDream Career to help you with the notification alert. All right. So yes, with that I will be coming to commerce. Anyone, any questions if you have for sciences, do let me know. Okay, Jay, have a question. All right. So research comes in PCB or not? Of course it does. A lot of the students are there, who do, I for myself, I have done biotechnology, right? So a lot of research, biology is a lot of research. But again, we may not consider it as a rule. When you're doing biology or you want to do something into biology, biological sciences and research is something that you're generally expected to do. But life doesn't end there. If you feel that you cannot invest, 7 years, 5 years into research, would you say that, my life is, I have done a mistake after doing biology, I should have done something else because I'm not getting a work now. This is a myth, I would say. All right. With biology, if you're going for a normal BSc kind of a biology, then it is expected that you do your MSc and then get into work. Otherwise, the best thing would be with PCB. You can diversify into environment, you can diversify into biotechnology, microbiology, lab, pathology. So yes, in that case, you'll have to plan out. If you're going for a BSc, my suggestion for research, if you want, get into a research institute or a university which have research-based programs, all right, for biology. So if you have taken JED, this is for you. You are in your 10th class now, and you're interested in research. Wonderful, beautiful. So you have 3 chances for KVPY. All right, so this is a scholarship exam. You can take it during your 11th class, you can take it during your 12th class, or if you're, in your graduation also, you can do it, right? So if you want to do research, your aptitude has to change a little. Your, thinking have to be more problem solving, right? You need to think a little deeper. So, you said PCB, so I kind of expect that you love biology. So if I say, I have 2 tubes, this is a glass, but I can say I have 2 tubes. Both the tubes have, transparent colorless liquid. One is just water and the other is a protein. All right, I just give you that. But odorless, you don't smell anything, and I would not suggest that you would taste it. All right. So if the question is, how would you identify without any reagent which is water and which is a protein? Yeah, Jay, you are in the Zoom thing. Would you like to answer this? Unmute yourself and answer it. Would you? Yeah, anyone. So there is, for those biology lovers, in one test tube, you have a transparent liquid, colorless, odorless. The other also colorless, odorless. I ask you a question, which is a protein and which is water. How would you do it? How would you test it? Without any reagent, nothing. Jay, would you like to try? Yeah? No? You want me to give an answer? Then maybe you can just give a hands up or something. Yeah, anyone from YouTube? Okay. Should I give the answer then? Yeah, Jay? Yeah, so yes, this is how the questions would be, this is how your thinking would be improved. You just give it a shake. All right, when you shake it, the protein would be frothing, whereas water would not froth. So without any reagent, if 2 colorless liquids are there in front of you, odorless, and colorless, just give a shake. You would be able to identify which is a protein and which is simple water, right? So when you're looking for this kind of research-based institutes, you would be expected to think this way. Nowadays, even the NCRT, I have seen 10th class, 11th class, 12th class, your question papers are very application based. So when you are doing your 11th class or when you are studying in your 10th class, go through those questions which are termed as HOTS, high order thinking skills. Try and answer those questions. Whenever you're reading a principle, a theory, or a rule, a law, try and see what are the applicability of those in the real life situation. So for all those science students, I would like you to, just read your sciences little differently from what you have been reading it all throughout. Try to see the practical application of it. I'm sure you're going to love science and you're going to love spending those 7, 8, 9 years to do your PhD or research. All right. Is there any other questions related to science, or will it be okay for me to just go for commerce now? Garima, is there any questions?
No, Parmita, you can move ahead.
I can carry on. All right. Thank you. So now we would be moving to the next branch. That's the only choice we have. We have science, we have commerce, and we have humanities. So for the students who have chosen commerce, you would basically pick up commerce with maths as a second optional, or if maths was not treating you that well, you might choose to drop maths. Anyways, you would still have something like accounts to deal with. There would still be certain numbers to manage. There would be, still certain formulas, certain amount of statistics that would be there with you. So yes, if maths is something that you truly enjoyed and physics, chemistry, and biology was not the subjects you liked, and therefore you chose maths, and you are that one person who is very investigative, very entrepreneurial, and you have taken up math along with your commerce, you can see the certain options that are there in front of your screen. Now you can choose to do any of the following, except for the last one, which is economics, or a financial planner, or maybe a stockbroker. The first 2, 3 options that are there in front, actuary or chartered accountant or chartered financial analyst, you need not be a BCom or a graduation. You can go for a chartered account right after your 12th. So now there are a lot of things where you can prepare for this examinations, and most of them go through an examination pattern. You clear the papers, you clear the exam, and that's what you would be doing. But yes, as advisors, I always say it is a good thing to plan in such a way that you always have a safety net for yourself. So I remember this girl who got a 97.2 percentage in her 12th class with commerce and math she had. And since she was too good, and she thought why not go for a dummy school, and then, I'll take my CA foundation exam. She cleared her foundation exam just in one shot. All right. And then she had to go for the intermediate exam. In the meanwhile, she was, not focusing very much on the dummy college that she attended, where she basically used to go for her BCom classes. Unfortunately, her BCom, her intermediate exams were not, she couldn't clear her intermediate exams. And she exhausted, a lot of attempts, so that didn't work out. So she couldn't be a CA, even though she was a brilliant girl. And since she was not focusing on her BCom program, she just managed to get a 46% in her, final grades. With that, she was not being able to go into any MBA program that was there. Otherwise, when you look at her intelligence, the way she speaks, it's wonderful. But if you're really looking for a degree per se, any of the time it would be, a degree might be the ticket to get into some, institute, or, to get into a job, or maybe anything. So for you students, even if you have that deep desire and you know very clearly that I am going to clear my CA finals and I will be a member of ICI, but still I would suggest for program with major or but while you're preparing for this exam, papers or this exams, it is good to focus on your curriculum as well. When you go to the IDC dashboard, you will find details of all of these options in front of you. Even in terms of the pathways, what are the exams required, what are the trainings that are there in this. So yes, if you're interested in any of those, definitely you can go for. If you have that backup, of a BBA or a BCom degree, if you have taken like economics, statistics, maths, again, a wonderful combination which can take you, towards being a financial planner, which can take you towards being an investment banker. Even maybe, if you are that boy or that girl who loves to play and, analyze the stock market, people do it when they are even in their 11th classes and 12th classes. Recently, there was a webinar I did with few students, where a student actually came up and said that, okay, ma'am, I have lost 30,000 in stocks, though I was, so I'm not up to age, but like, yes, I was helping my brother in, invest this 30,000, and my 30,000 was gone. But I learned a lot how these things go on, and therefore I really pushed my mother hard to give me another 50,000 bucks. And this time, within a span of 7 to 8 months, that 50,000 he have invested in such a way that the return was more than a lakh rupees. Right, it was close to 3 lakh rupees. So this is more of what you take in. You might not, have institute per se, though there are stockbroking institute in Mumbai. You can look for it. But while you're doing your graduation, you can show interest here and start learning how things work. And if you really want to make it big, and you want to join the RBI or any bank, or maybe you want to be into the civil services, be your economist, or you want to come into research and do something like that, you can definitely keep with normal commerce route. The route for economics or being an economist remains open for you. Now, wonderful for those students who have the grit to study a lot and do a lot of research. All right. So these are the details that are there on being a chartered accountant, what you can do. Yeah, you can do a lot, you can earn a lot, you can work in banks, you can work in audit firms, you can have your own, consultants, investment houses. So a lot of options are there. This is one area where the, people who enter the field and people who exit the field is less. There might be a lot of people who do the foundation course, and it tapers as it were. So maybe if a lakh student do it, maybe only 10,000 or maybe 1,000 will make it to a certified CA. So please remember, these are quite difficult courses. So do have something as a backup plan for yourself. Right? The students who are more, they're better with management, they're better with strategies, and not that great maybe in numbers. So don't worry, you really need not do your calculus and algebra here. So you can be into, the management side of commerce, where maths did not be a subject in your 11th and 12th class, right? So you can go into, changing the way your family business has been going on. So during this COVID time, it would have been a good thing if you could learn the nuances that were there in your family business, go up, in this area to take your family business to a next. You can go into a lot of CS activities. You can do a lot in terms of project management, operation management, finance management, sales and marketing. You may choose to do a specialization with BBA, all right? Or you can simply do a normal general BBA and then choose to do your specialization during MBA. Anything is fine. So you can go for a BBA, work in the area you really like for, do your internship in that. And then, while in the meanwhile, you start preparing for your entrance exams that will take you to a good institute for management, right? And you can, go well for that. For all those students who love, the options that I have been showing here, please remember to improve your communication skills. For a commerce student, this is a key. If you have good communication skills, if you, know how to articulate yourself well, all right, you can be wonderful, with any of this. If you have people, I would say, so sales marketing, operations, project management, or even event management, things like that would come very easy to you. All right. Some of the top colleges in India are there in front of your screen. I'm afraid most of the interview process is over, or maybe the entrance is over. DU, however, is open. Just looking into courses in DU. Please go to the website. We do have a class for due on the 21st. So if you did not get the date, you can make a note of it, or maybe a circular would come to you. So 21st, we will be orienting you on the entire due process. So if you are that student who are aspiring to get in Sukhdev, or maybe in Miranda House, or in any of the top colleges in due, but you really don't know how the process works, please keep your calendar free for 21st, where we will be taking you through the entire due process. We also have, for Maharashtra University, which will be there in, the next session, maybe it'll be on the 27th. So you will be getting an invitation and notification for that. Symbiosis, right now, the written test is over. 6th, they had just completed the WAT, and the interview process is on. So right now, for the colleges here that is listed, I am afraid it's just you that's open for you. All right. So that was all about commerce. But if you're really looking into something little more, you can look at, as I told you about the NRTI, which have BBA options open for you. Students who want to do a little bit into media related things, we have this institute called All India Media Common Entrance. Okay, if you're mostly into management and event management, if you're looking into something like that, and you want to diversify, and after your 11th and 12th course, you want to do something a little different, please go and visit this website, AIMCET. All right, the last date is 12th of this month. So we are standing on 7th today. So hardly few days there. Please make a note. It's All India Media Common Entrance Test. All right. So if you really want to diversify there, go and check out the website. For a few, again, yes, the state universities are open. Make a note of even Ambedkar University, where you can go and apply. Ahmedabad University is open for a lot of commerce courses. You find, and our traditional university system, like state university systems, are for admissions. So you would like to go and check out the website. All right. So we come to humanities. I'm not sure if there are any questions. Let me just quickly check if there are any questions. Yeah, sports management. All right. I take basic maths. Sports management, again, beta here, Jay, you need to understand whether you want to do sports management as a specialization, or you want to diversify completely into something as a BBA sports management. There are not too many institutes in India which will offer you, a specialization, in sports per se, a degree, complete degree in sports management. There are institutes which will offer specializations. Check out, in Calcutta. You can also do something. Maybe you can look for a management program, a BBA program, or things like that. Or if you are that one student who loves, sports, and you also play, if you're an athlete, or if you're a badminton player or a football player. Now we all have this Olympic fever going on, right? So if you think you can make it big there, right, I would say you train yourself in sports to a certain level, and then maybe, go for a sports management in your master's. Okay, that makes sense. Else, I'm sure you are associated with few of our advisors in iDream area. For more details into it, your counselor would be able to help you. All right. Any questions in YouTube?
Parmita, one of the students would want to know about management consultancy.
All right. So when you want to open up a consultancy firm, so So this is something which comes with age, I would say. With age, I'm not saying that you really need to be old to do, in management consultancy. So you would have to do, certain research. You might have to do certain programs. You might have to get an MBA done. So even in MBA, there are lots like, project management. How do you manage a startup, right? Once you are good, it could also be, in financial management. It could be, managing your human resource, right? So if you have that, and if you want to go for something like management consultancy, I would say, it is possible, but it would be a great thing that, you do your masters in areas where you can, go more into consultant. There is even like, PR, public relation, you do a lot of consultancy in that. People love go for, management consultant as well, because, they have something like, protecting your data or your research, business analytics and all of that. So yes, if you are really looking into something where you can go for, you want to do for a management consultant, the first thing would be to get that degree, or do it, or get yourself exposed to some kind of projects and internship. All right. And once you're done with your masters, if you have those kind of projects, you can start up your own consultant, or you can work on a consultant and then go ahead with this option. All right. So I see a question here in the Zoom link. Digital marketing can be an option, beta. Yes, it can be an option. But see, there are a lot of universities which offer a BBA digital marketing also. But Jay, let me tell you, if you're looking for something like digital marketing, just look at what are the products available for digital marketing in the market, right? You have Udemy courses where you do a digital marketing course just for a few hours, and you just pay 400 for it, all right? Wherein you can manage your social media like Facebook, Instagram, and you design something. There are digital marketing courses which range from 6 months to 9 months. There are also 1 year digital marketing programs available. So do you really think that you need to do graduation in digital marketing, or you can do a graduation in a proper stream where you skill yourself in a particular field, all right? Maybe in finance, or you get into economics, or you do something into, learning more about how businesses work, and then add that up with digital marketing. All right. So digital marketing can be an option for many, right? But work, when it comes to work, right, a lot of options are there, a lot of competitions are there, there are a lot of digital marketers who work on freelance basis. So for that, a certificate, diploma and all of that can be good enough. So after 12th, right now, going for digital marketing, I'm not sure. Yeah, so if I were in your place, maybe I would have done something different, as a program, as a graduate program, and then I would have supplemented, my CV, or I would have done something from the program, to get a certificate or a diploma in digital marketing. All right. Sports universities, yes, it is there in Calcutta. So you can also look at the web, in our dashboard, and you can find out, more about the institutes for sports sciences, BSc sports management, BBA in sports. So yes, graduation is available, but again, it's a good idea to talk to your counselor and find out what is best for you. Should you go for, something in sports management in graduation level, or is it good that you think about it in the master's level? All right. So yes, now I come to my favorite, that is careers in humanity. So the careers that are there in humanity are diverse. So you have a lot of options. These are those students who are soft. They are, they love to think a lot. All right. They are those people who are, I would say, passionate, and they carry a lot of artistic. So yes, if you are that, if you are resilient, very calm, a lot of things are opened for you. Even with entrepreneurial skills, you can do it. Even with investigative skill, you can go for humanities. Today, humanities is a subject that the whole world is looking for. I think my internet got a little disrupted, so I'll repeat myself. So today, this is humanities subject is going to, when we talk of 2020, where technology has gone lips and bounds. So humanities would be the subject where we have to rely on. I was hearing to a lecture of Jack Ma long back. He mentioned saying that if I have to compete with a computer, I will never I'll never succeed, right? So if I know how to play chess and I teach the computer how to play chess, he becomes an expert within a minute, all right, and he thinks about 4 million moves within a second. I'll not be able to do that. So, what do I do best? All right. So, in the world of technology, the things that machines cannot do, if you can do that, that's a field that you're going to excel, right? So, humanities are those things, where you connect, where you think, where so these are all areas. So when I can, I have a great sense of respect for the subject, and no wonder the scope is there. Therefore, the IITs, which are the premier institutes in India for sciences, they have opened up their doors for humanities. Right? So yes, if you are that one student, or who loves humanities, who loves history, social sciences, please go for these options. A huge area is there for you to explore and work on. A few reality check. There might be a lot of options which will open up for you only after your masters. So you have to be prepared that you need to invest few years to know the entire subject, or be to learn the subject and apply the right. So yes, masters, PhD. This is something that is expected from you. All right, so let us just look at the subjects here. Psychology. Nowadays, I have seen a lot of students saying psychology, I want to do into psychology. So here, if you're looking into psychology, you can look at it as a subject and look at it as a career option. You can also look at psychology as a tool. All right. So when you're looking psychology as a tool, so a bit of psychology is there in management. A bit of psychology is something that you can always study. All right. So I am a career counselor, and I need a lot of psychological concept when I am when I'm dealing with my students or parents or other teachers. Right. So in that case, I use this subject as a tool, because I say psychology is the science in. So whatever we are doing, just speaking, how we think, how we do, it's all the psychology that plays. Okay, the hormones, the things that work, right? You can see the picture of brain in front of you. Yeah, it is all those lights and those dots that that keeps triggering, and how we join it. It matters. If you're really looking for this subject as a career option for you, there are a lot of areas where you can diversify. May it be clinical psychology, care, counseling psychology. I am a career counselor, right? You can be into a school psychology. Psychologists have a greater role in forensic studies, for investigative researchers and all of that. So you can find your way there. Sports psychology, again, that's the way you can find yourself there too. In the area of industry, marketing, manufacturing, a psychologist is required even to understand market research. All right. Also to do come up and launch a new product in the market. So there is a psychologist who would be required. So just imagine there is this brand, Colgate, or some brand which manufactures toothpaste, and all of a sudden they come up with the brilliant idea that I'm going to manufacture a toothpaste with favorite, and I'm going to all kids will love it, and I'm putting a chocolate flavored toothpaste. Do you think that will sell? Yeah, it might, but nobody would like to brush your teeth early morning having chocolate flavor all over your mouth, right? In the morning when you need to be fresh, you need to pep up yourself, you need something minty and something that will make you feel fresh. So yes, even a psychologist is playing somewhere there. Okay, there is a psychologist behind who would say what should be the flavor, the smell, and all of that. Again, psychology has roles in, when you're playing that video game of yours, if somebody's, loves to play Minecraft, or you're doing, you're playing Clash of Clan, Fortnite, Call of Duty. So there is a level of difficulty. This is how, a psychologist would look for. If there is a teenager, this kind of, difficulty would be enjoyed by, a teenager. And if you, clear that, the dopamine release happens, and you start feeling, oh, I have done something, or I have cracked this level, right? So there is a psychologist even with a video game designing company, or a, video game developing company. So yes, if you love psychology, read about it. You may not be using it as a career. You may just use it as a tool as well. A wonderful subject to go ahead. But please remember, there is a lot of things that need to share from within also. So if all of that are a right fit, go and talk to your counselor, find out if psychology is a right fit subject for you. If yes, go ahead. There are other subjects which can supplement with psychology when you're looking for your graduation or BA. You can club up psychology, sociology, political science, and languages for that matter. So when you're looking into sociology, the next subject, again, very important when we talk of today's society, when the societal norms are changing rapidly. So sociology, psychology. And the other is social work. All right. Psychology, we have just seen the area, how it goes. When I talk of sociology and social work, there's slight difference between the two. Many a times we kind of say, yeah, social work, sociology is the same. But really not. Because sociology, when we talk of more academics, we talk of more research. So when you are looking for an option with sociology, please keep that 7 to 8 years time with you. Okay, we would love that you go ahead with sociology in your masters and also do a PhD in sociology. Only then you reap the benefit of the subject. Okay, this is a subject which matures or gives you the benefit when you give it that kind of a time and patience with it. All right, so if you have that patience, if you want to do research, and you want to be into academics, go for sociology. If you want to get that quick job, get yourself dirty, get to the ground, do a lot of field work, then go for social work, right? It can be a good combination if you have done subjects in BA, which is like sociology, psychology, and political science, and then go ahead with a master's in social work, and then get a job, get into field. So a lot of NGOs, CSRs, all of those will be available for you to work on. International organizations would be there, UNICEF, World Health Organization, where you can work with social, with the masters in social work. Social work PhD is something which is a very rare thing. So people do not do PhD in social work. They do PhD in sociology, not in social work. All right. So yes, a wonderful subject. You would, I'll not be surprised if tomorrow somebody comes and tells me, the society would no longer believe in something like marriages. Possible. I don't know. It's not impossible. We do have a lot of discussion into all of this. So yeah, societal norms are changing. People are, behaving differently the way they are behaving in social media. They are behaving differently when they meet people face to face. I have across a lot of students who open up very easily with a friend whom they haven't met. All right, maybe in a social media, or in a WhatsApp, or in a group, you open up very easily, but you do not open up to the people who know you. All right, I have come across a lot of students who say that, ma'am, I get I'm a little hesitated to speak to people who know me, but I can open up very well in front of people who would not judge me. So this is, again, there's a change. So there is a change in pattern. So yeah, sociology is your subject if you love reading all of this, right? The other subject, again, is political science. Some students do manage to get in, few internships and all after a BA in political science. Like you can start working as a political analyst or a political researcher with, big political parties. But here too, it could be a good idea to do political science in your graduation and maybe diversify into little something different for masters, or you can go ahead with the masters, but with political science as a subject, you are expected to do some kind of internship or work in this area. All right. If you have friends or relatives who are already in the political area, if you if they work for parties and all, then yes, you can go for lobbyist. With political science, that subjects that make a wonderful combination would be economics, would be subjects like finance. All right, or basically economics you get in a humanities, finance you'll not be getting, but yes, you can do something into this when you come up. All right, so you might have political science as a subject, and also you have economics as your subject. You can go into becoming economic development officer, or you can be into customs, you can be into foreign services, export import. These are more into international politics as well. Now you might have to do a little bit of law, so this can be wonderful combination with political science major in graduation, and then go ahead for law, and then do into something into either in the civil services or this area. Few students do get in into research, say they do political science and they work for some time, and then they go ahead with a MBA and all of that, and then they choose their career accordingly, right? So yes, here it is good if you're a little social extrovert, and you do not hesitate speaking to people, and you know how to speak the right thing. Okay, so yeah, if that's you, go for political science. If you love exploring, if you love nature, if you want to do something for the earth, then geography can be your area. Like political science, even a graduation in geography may give you some kind of work, but please reality check. It might not be a very high paying job after just a BA or a BSc in geography. So geography can be taken as a science subject. It can also be taken as a humanities subject. So if you are completely from a humanities background, then in that case, you have to go for a BA geography. There are a lot of universities, offering state colleges offering a BA geography. However, BSc geography might be a little limitation if you're looking for programs. So for BSc geography, students come from the science background. Either they come from PCM with geography, because a lot of schools, they do offer geography as an optional subject to science student. In that case, you can go for geography, BSc geography, all right? Or, you can go for something like geology also. Otherwise, the career options or the work options that might remain open for you just after graduation or a BA honors in geography might be with insurance companies, or with your national state bodies like Survey of India, where a lot of internship opportunities are there in terms of survey. Yeah, so you can do a lot of survey, and you need not be doing it full time. So you can do part time, and they do pay you well if you're doing some good survey, right? Even when now everything is coming online, doing a little survey on what are the areas, if there is an industry that is being built, so you need to do a survey of the land, find out water bodies and all of that. So those survey kind of things can be picked up after graduation. But yes, masters is something again which we would look for if you really want to bank on the subject. All right, you can even diversify to other areas with geography as your subject in graduation. The other area here in humanities, again, very interesting for few, is anthropology, right? Where you study about, museum curation. Again, anthropology is a subject which deals with a lot of academics and research. So if you're interested there, you can go for it. Anthropology has, for a few countries, this is really, a booming subject, not booming in the sense they need people to work. So, there is a tribe, I'm not really recollecting the name there, Chapahua or something in the US. You have in the US, in the Amazon basin and all of that, even in areas like Utah, there are a lot of areas or things that have not been explored as of now. So I was going through a documentary. I was reading about something like Egyptology, maybe. I'm not very sure of what I was really going through, but I did come across a tribe where, very ancient. You may not find too many, you may not find anyone who belong to that tribe today, or maybe a one or two. You might just get a small family of that tribe surviving. But yes, this tribe, what was a very strange thing they found it was their graves were in places where, a normal mountaineering person also would not be able to go without all sophisticated gear. So, it is like, covered with mountain, and it's in steep mountains. Inside those mountains, there used to be caves, and these people used to make their graves there. Without technology, someone going there is something which can be, really difficult. So what was the technology behind these people? Okay, what did they use, and how do they manage to, did they manage to go and build graves in such areas which are, so difficult to reach, right? So this would be something related to anthropology. I've just given you that little insight. So yes, if you're really looking for, again, if we have this, human civilization, you talk of Harappa and Indus Valley, some of them in Syria, it's still not dug up. We really don't know how what things were, right? So if this interests you, then please go ahead with, anthropology. Options are there. It's there into education. It's there even into human behavior, because anthropology is the science of human behavior. So there are people who do anthropology and then maybe go for an MBA and all. And you really you can be very instrumental in understanding human behavior or customer behavior, along with working with international organizations and all. Right? History is again very famous. People love history. Many students I have seen, they really like history, and there is a lot to do with history and design, history and art. All right. In India, we do not have too many options where you can, pick up digital history and maybe, pick up history and something into art in the graduation level. But yes, with history in the graduation level, you can, do something with arts and with journalism, and then combine both the degrees together to do something in the area of history and art. To become a museum curator, or to be even in the area of journalism, there are a lot of people who like to watch documentaries that come in Nat Geo or in this channels. So there are a lot of historians who are there. You would, if I tell you, there are historians who are employed by, film industries. All right, so you might have seen, 300 or, the Game of Thrones, where they depict an era which is, of history. Right. So when those things are there, they need historians. In case of, even setting up the set, they need historians even to train people on what the language, what the culture, and what was the costumes, or what they wore in that particular era. Right. So yes, if history is something you like and love, there are a lot of area you can diversify with history as your subject. Right. So yes, with that we come to an end of the typical areas of science, commerce, and humanities. There are a lot of options that will be available to you where you can come from any field. So that would be in the area of mass media, in the area of law, hospitality, into design. You can join the Indian Army if you want, or if you want to go for civil services, that is something you can do. Civil services is after graduation. So before that, you can really look for any of this area that is mentioned. So with that, I would just add up for students who would go for communication. The few dates have come up. Please go to your dashboard and find out. So there is this new institute, I would like to say. Normally, hotel management is more of a bachelor's in hotel management. There is this Indian government institute. It was in collaboration with Indira Gandhi National Tribal University. They have two campuses where they have launched a program called BBA in Culinary Arts. All right. So they have a BBA in Culinary Arts program and an Indian recognized university, set up by the government of India. They have campuses in Noida and Tirupati. So please go and check out that website if you are interested in hotel management and culinary arts. And this is a pretty new program where it is, a BBA in culinary arts. All right. Normally you get a hotel management and culinary arts. So it is a BBA with culinary arts. So yeah, if you want to do something in this area, please go and check out this website. For those who are interested in media and all, we do have, I did tell you about the, media common entrance test, which is AIMCET. You might just go and, check out that. Last date is again 12th of this month. So do not miss out on it. We have a lot of institutes in India which are called, film and TV, technology. A lot of institutes are there into, that there are some programs where you can go for a bachelor's program. There are a lot of programs which are short-term programs. So if you're doing a bachelor's degree in any of the three streams that we have just spoken, yet you are that person who is really passionate about doing photography, and you have a lot of fan followers and they really praise you on your photographic techniques, on your video editing techniques, and you would really need that some skills to go on. So you would find a lot of certificate diploma programs. You can also look into the online options that are there in Udemy or Coursera to do something like that. Else go for a normal a bachelor's program in BJMC, that is, bachelor's in journalism or mass communication, bachelor's in media management. So a lot of options will be available for you after any stream in 11th and 12th. Law is something, again, which is quite attractive to many students. Like in most of the countries, law in India is also a postgraduate program. Though you might have heard about this CLAT and all of that, where you go for an integrated 5-year program. But if you haven't cleared CLAT and you still want to go for law, not a problem. You can be there. All right. So law is available as BA LLB, BCom LLB, or BSc LLB. Or you just do a bachelor's program and do LLB from any of the law university. Law has, we just see few here, civil, tax, criminal. The law has actually come to every sector these days. So when we talk of law and order, when we talk of cyber law, so there is law almost everywhere. So when you are doing law or you're studying law, it's not really necessary that you wear the black coat and, you sit in front of the court and do litigation. It's not required. There are a lot of law options where you will never have to go to the court at all. All right, so we have something like healthcare law. All right, we have something like media and entertainment law. All right, so one of film rights. You might have seen this series, Harry Potter, right? The character Harry Potter, he started from 2001 till, 2017, 18, worked for, 10 to 15 years. You have seen those characters grow in screen, right? Also, there are bindings, there are legal agreements, documentations that happen. So there is a lot that you can do even in the media and the entertainment area if you are, if you have studied law. So there are a lot of contracts that happens, post-production agreements, broadcast contracts. So you can look into this area. Again, somebody just asked me about digital marketing. So yes, even digital marketing into newspaper prints and all of that, with the law knowledge, you would be invincible, I would say. Right. So again, when it comes to data piracy, when it comes to data protection, cyber law and all of that would be career options, or those would be in demand very soon. Those would be in demand very soon. All right. So that would be all I would say for law. So this is the entrance exams that you need to take after your 12th. If you have missed it, fine. Nothing to worry about it. Right, you can always do your graduation in whichever subject or course that your counselor has advised you. And if you still want to go for law, you can go for it. So you won't believe I have done my patent law when I completed my master's and I was teaching. Right, law is an option where there is no last date or end date in such, like if you're 20 you cannot do law, if you're 50 you cannot do law. It's nothing like that. There are people who take up diploma programs in law even when they are 30, 35 years old. So if you really want to do law, and you want to work with it, there is no, right time or good time, I would say, right? So yeah, this is something you can really go ahead. Design, people who are artistic, love to do something, out of the box. They are very creative. These are a few options which can go alongside your graduation or master's program in terms of diploma, online programs, or if you really want to get into a degree, so you can do it. You can go into B- program, which can be, in a specialization of anything that's there in front of your screen. All right, product design, industry design, fashion design, communication design again, right? Animation, graphics, video, film, video design. So all of this would come under the same umbrella. All types of degrees are available. Degrees in terms of UG, PG, certificate, diplomas, and also short part-time courses are also available. Right now, India is also popularizing on this, a new subject that you can see in front of your screen, which is called liberal arts. Sadly, for all liberal arts colleges, the application dates are over. Nevertheless, you can always venture out, some other time. All right. So here, liberal arts concept is more a concept than a study, where you can, you can choose a major and a minor from multidisciplinary area, either from interdisciplinary or cross discipline also, right? So you can pick up a formal science with a humanities subject. So these are for those people who are very dynamic. They are socially very dynamic, and they love problem solving, and they would really like to do a lot of things. So yes, I know of a student who is, doing her psychology, and at the same time she is doing something into drama and arts. And she started off her own initiative called Zikr, where, she through drama or through art, she is trying to help people come out of depression, or teach them something, maybe, awareness. What, if you're a female, are you aware of what your rights, or are you really aware of your body, your shape, what you can do, what you cannot, right? So a lot of things can happen. So if you are that, a student who is either very, very focused, and you're very dynamic, and you want to do something different, go for liberal arts. Or if you are that student who's really confused right now and not sure what you want to do, right? Take liberal arts, where you can experiment with a lot of subject, and then choose a major, maybe even in a later state. Even that is possible with most of the liberal arts colleges, right? So these are the top liberal arts colleges in India. This year, sorry, it's all the deadlines are over. So we were talking about hotel management. I did give you option of BBA in culinary arts. So yes, hotel management is an option that you can go for if you're really not looking into going into or any of the stream, like, that, like we mentioned. So this is something you can go. If uniform careers attract you, intrigue you, and you love discipline, and you want to be a role model to someone, right? So you can definitely join our armed services. For Navy and Air Force, PCM is mandatory, but not for the Army, right? So yes, if you do not have PCM, you can still apply for NDA after your 12th. September 13th, if I'm not mistaken, but somewhere in September, the NDA exam is there. I think you might have already filled up your application. After you clear that, there is this SSB exam, which you need to clear. Quite difficult, tough, it tests your patience, I would say. If you manage it, then you are there, the uniform is there, and so is the respect. Okay. So the next, my favorite, I am a teacher, and I always, I love doing this. So if you want to be a motivator, a teacher, a lecturer, a special educator, or someone who loves to give away what you know, right? Teaching is always open for you. There are institutes which offers you an integrated program in, with BEd as well. Normally, B.Ed is a 2-year program, and B.Ed is something that you do after your graduation, all right, in order to be in the school teaching system, right? There are institutes like RIE, national, you have the NCRT. So there are quite a few RIE all over India. One is in my hometown, Shillong. All right. So here you can go for an integrated B.Ed program. So it can be a BSc B.Ed, a BCom, a BA B.Ed. So it's an integrated 4-year. Otherwise, if you have to do a B.Ed, you have to do a 3-year of graduation plus 2 years of B.Ed. So instead of 5 years, you end up spending 4 years here to do an integrated program from these colleges, and institutes, and get into teaching. You will be teaching school students. All right. If you're looking for teaching, bigger students, who go to colleges and university, it is mandatory that you do at least your master's and then start off with your research and PhD. Okay, so after your master's is over, there is this exam that is called, national entrance exam, conducted, all over India through two bodies. One is the UGC, the other is CSIR. All right, UGC is University Grant Commission, for all humanities and commerce related subject. And if you are doing it from science subject, so you have CSIR, Indian Council of Scientific and Research Institute. Okay, so it's CSIR. So if you do it from there, if you qualify the exam, you either you qualify for lecturership, but there is an option that is given in the form, lecturership, no age limit, and PhD or fellowship. All right, for fellowship, JRF they call it. There is an age limit, so maybe it's 28 or 26. I'm not very sure. There's a little relaxation in terms of the categories, like SC, ST. There is a little relaxation there. So yeah, if you take JRF and you qualify that, you get a stipend to do your PhD from any of the research institutes or universities in India. And at the same time, you automatically clear your lecturership. So after you complete your PhD, or while you are doing your PhD, you can apply as a lecturer in any of the private or government colleges that is there. Okay. The other is special educator, or so you are a specialist to deal with students with special needs. Right? There are lots of openings in schools, in rehabilitation centers. As a special educator, you can join any of these institutes, right? Though, now we would, these are all professional. So when you talk of professional courses and vocational courses, professional courses are, I would say, 70% classroom teaching and 30% you will be doing something on your own, right? More of skill based. So when you're studying history, you're basically studying and reading, and there's a teacher who is lecturing, and you're reading and you're doing it on your own. So lots would be, in a classroom. If you are that student who feels that I can be, good with skills, but I'm not that great with books and reading and writing notes and, writing question answers, right? So if you are someone like that, we have a lot of institutes, in the vocational field also. There are good technical institutes. There are also institutes where you can go into proper engineering after doing 2 years or 3 years in a vocational institute. If you have performed really well, you can, shift to engineering from a mainstream college. So those opportunities are there. There are a lot of skill-based programs that would be there with, the vocational programs. So if you have missed it, or if you haven't made, into any college, as of now, so it would be a good idea to just to look at what are the offerings, this vocational programs has for you. All right. So some of the ITIs are brilliant, I would say, in terms of their facility, in terms of, what they teach students. Okay. So we also have this university in Delhi, this called Delhi Skill and Enterprise University. Look up at the courses that they have, quite wonderful, I would say. Right. So yes, if you want to do something into, air conditioning, automobile engineering, IT, geospace, and all of that, you can look at some of this vocational courses. right? So these are the website for the vocational courses. No, it's just for those people who, who doesn't like to read too much, but would like to work and, learn things. You can look into those options as well. Okay, so that's all for today. Yeah, I have taken your 1.5 hours time, to complete. So let me know if there are any questions. Right, every month, every week, we would be coming up with this, career classes. Next week we have for study overseas. For study overseas, we are going to go for country specific this time. So 14th of August, we have for US and Canada. Then we will have for UK. Then we'll also have a class for Australia and New Zealand. Right. So stay tuned with us for the weekly career classes. And I'm sure you know about the different programs that we have. We have Explore program where we handhold you till the time you get to your college. We have this Inform programs. If you're really not sure, what are your path A, path B, or what should you do? All right, how you should plan your career options. So we have this. We also have this overseas guidance, and we do train students. Like we have this young entrepreneurship program going on right now. So you can reach out to us in the following IDs, right, or the email or the phone number if you want to know more about our programs. So with that, I come to the end of today's session. If there are any questions, I will love to take it.
Yes, Parmita. So there are definitely a few questions. Jay is there online with us. So he definitely had a number of questions. So Jay, I don't think I'll be able to accommodate a lot of questions of yours, but maybe a few of them, and then you can write back to Parmita or to our team. So my ID is garima@idreamcareer.com, or you can write down to parmita@idreamcareer.com, or even support@idreamcareer.com. All right, whatever is convenient for you. We'll answer all the questions for you. And for students, who've asked your questions on the YouTube chat as well, same follows for you. If you guys would have any questions, just do that. Otherwise, you can go to our website, which is idreamcareer.com. Maybe register yourself for a 2-day trial if needed. Have a look and feel of what we do. As a part of any package that you may buy. So Parmita ma'am has already briefed you about it. So we have a Pathfinder program, Inform program, Explore, as well as other options, overseas guidance program, as well as we run IDX for soft skills and other skill-based programs as well. So depending on your requirement, you can enroll for any of these programs, and then you will have access to the weekly career class as well. Some students can log in directly to Zoom platform, where they will have an opportunity to get in touch with the speaker directly rather than being on the YouTube box. Yeah. So Parmita, I would want you to take up a few questions here, maybe just one or two. So one is a student has asked on YouTube that how do I become an army nurse? If you could share some points.
All right. So for army, you have this base hospitals, everywhere. Right. So if you're a boy or a female, that really doesn't matter. So you can go into, the military nursing thing. So that happens after 12th. All right. If you want to go into the paramedical area, you can get your nursing course done from there. The other area is to do the nursing program or BSc nursing from any recognized institute and clear their, defense service examination, and then get into nursing in any of the defense wing. Okay, I think I answered that. Right. There are base hospitals and nursing institute even under IFMC. So if you want to do that, you can. Else, you can also, do your nursing from a recognized institute and clear the combined defense service exam for the defense, and then get into the army. All right. So both the ways are possible for you. All right. There are a lot of male nursing colleges within the, military hospitals. So you can look out that option. Yeah.
Great. All right. So moving on to the next question, Jay, who's also one of our users here, would want to know, is there any government entrepreneur undergraduate course available?
There are beta. So when you go, but this would be more of a vocational kind of a thing. In fact, there is in our website only when there is a certain funds given to people who would like to start up their own small scale business. There are also opportunities for starting up cottage industries and all. A lot of initiatives have been taken by the Indian government to encourage the small startups and businesses. All right, so it is there in our dashboard. Under entrepreneurship, you can look at both the options as in vocational as well as professional. Professional, definitely it will not be through government, but we have this Make in India initiative. A lot of initiatives are there through which a lot of facilities are given, right? There are a lot of angel investors also. If you're looking into the private area, who look at to the product or the idea that you have for your business, and they might be just ready to fund you, to start up your business, but you are really looking into the government sector. So there are. So you can go to the dashboard and look up into start small businesses in the vocational part. You will find all the entire details of what is the money, how you should go about it, how you should apply for it. All right. So it's there.
Great. Honestly, Parmita, the time, we've kind of exceeded the time. There are a few more questions left, but I would suggest if all the students who are viewing us and are there on the platform here with us, please do drop in your questions at support@idreamcareer.com. We will take them up for you and get them answered. Put them in the chat box of the YouTube channel that you're currently in, and we will get them answered for you. Please do stay tuned for the weekly career classes that keep on happening every week. So like Parmita ma'am had already mentioned, the next one is on study abroad, which is the coming week, which would be the next weekend. We'll let you know about it. We'll drop you a text and an email. Do stay tuned. And Parmita, as always, thank you so much for being here. A very, very informative session. A lot of takeaways for students here.
So good luck with your admissions and starting college very soon, whether offline or online. So maybe there's a talk going on. You might just go and visit your college campus, but otherwise, online it will open up. So all the best for the new phase that is starting very soon in your life. So do well and stay happy, stay healthy.